High School. Comcast Sports presents high school wrestling tonight. It's the Panthers of Collingswood and the Red Raiders of Paulsboro. Hello everyone, with John Vogeding. I'm John Mondelli, and Vogue tonight. What a match. Last year Collingswood beat Paulsboro twice. Double revenge tonight. Another streak on the line. It seems like every time we talk about Paulsboro, there's a streak. They have not lost a Colonial Conference match in this gym since 1970.
That's correct. In 1970, Haddonfield came in here and beat Paulsboro. Paulsboro lost twice the next year, Bob Frederick's first year, to Haddonfield and Haddon Township. But in this gym, they have not lost since 1970.
Well, a couple things to look out for tonight. We look back at last year's match. Duka and Hamri wrestled a couple times last year. Duka winning both times. Do you think we'll see them wrestle tonight?
No, I don't. Unless the meet doesn't mean anything, or unless Collingswood absolutely, positively needs a win, I don't think you'll see Hamri and Duka matched up.
The other one will be Simone and Gentile. Simone and Gentile, they wrestled each other once last year.
Again, it's imperative for Collingswood to get points in the upper weights. They might bump him away from Gentile.
Okay, you talk about Collingswood getting a lot of points in the upper weights. They must do that to win, correct?
Absolutely. Starting at 152 pounds, and that kind of favors Collingswood a little bit. So it's up to the people in the upper weights to try and keep Paulsboro in the match.
What about Paulsboro? What do they have to do to win?
Paulsboro has to avoid bonus points. They have to try and not to get pinned, and they have to win the majority of the matches.
Okay, we're going to have all the action coming up next on Comcast. And welcome back to Paulsboro High School with John Vogeding. I'm John Mondelli. Getting ready to start the match, Vogue, 152 pounds. Let's see who the teams send out. Looks like Paulsboro is going to start out with Brandon Samuels. That's the impression we were led to believe. And we'll see what Collingswood does.
And of course, Brandon Samuels, a tested veteran. He's one of the few seniors on the Paulsboro team. 152 pounds
Taylor
for
Vanazzi.
Taylor Vanazzi for Collingswood.
Vanazzi had the big win in the first dual meet last year, Vogue. A 6-4 win at 145 pounds to give Collingswood that win last year and break that streak at 307. Right away, though, Samuel's in on that leg. No points. And you talked about Paulsboro's got to come out strong here at 152.
And Taylor Vanazzi's a sophomore. As you mentioned, he was in the lineup last year. He's 14-7 entering this bout. Brandon Samuels, a senior, 12-8 this year, a 500 record for his career, 40 wins and 40 losses. This is a huge weight class for Paulsboro.
Go back to the center, Vogue.
I was just going to say, needless to say, a packed house here today, including a couple of people who were on that January 21st, 1970 team. Kenny Ridinger, who recently retired as the police chief in Paulsboro, won by a fall in 1970 at 123 pounds. And Craig Talmont, who now lives in Collingswood, wrestled at 178 pounds in that match. He had a tie, and I was talking to him before we went on the air, and he said it's lived with him for all these years because he knew as soon as he tied that they were going to lose that match, which severed a 19-match winning streak.
There we go. Well, under a minute left, first period, still scoreless. Starting at 152.
And of course, 1970.
Stall warning on Collingswood.
A lot of people will remember that the milk was 33 cents a quart back then and bread 24 cents a loaf.
You know,
long time ago.
I couldn't even tell you what that stuff costs today. 30 seconds left, no score.
Al Maloney, the veteran official on the mat, he will call the points. Darren Walsh, who used to be a head coach at Paul VI High School, is an assistant, and he'll be watching for such things as locking hands or out of bounds and watching the clock when the time runs down.
Samuels again on that leg. See if he can finish this time. He does. Gets the 2-0 lead.
Big 2 points with 18 seconds to go in the first period.
He tried that same move, Vogt, closer to the line the first 30 seconds of the match. Couldn't finish. First 30 seconds of this match, yeah.
Yes.
Could not finish. Gets it here, 2-0 lead. Now he's got a hole in these 9 seconds. You don't want to give up a cheap point here. And we talk about this all the time, working on top.
Working on top, break your man down, try to get his back exposed. Just remember where you are and remember how much time is left. He's got
no back points.
It had a 1 count before the buzzer went. And that's one of the problems you have in this gym. You can't hear the buzzer, and that's why the other official was out there to count down how many seconds are left.
That's a joke about how loud it is in here. Collingswood starts on bottom. Samuels will bring him right back down to the mat.
He's got to lift him up and stay in control. And of course, a lot of times you'll see a wrestler who, when he lifts the wrestler off the mat, as he brings him back down, he tries to throw his leg in there and get a Turk as they go to the mat. And if you get the Turk ride in there, a lot of chances you can turn somebody for back points. Double revenge match for Paulsboro. We mentioned earlier, Collingswood severed a 307 match winning streak last year to deprive Paulsboro of its Colonial Championship, and then turned around and beat him in the group finals to put Paulsboro out of that competition.
2-1 now with the escape, 1:20 left here in the second period.
I know if you were around in 1970, which you were.
I was about 11.
And you were probably one of those guys that went after a Rubik's Cube or a pet rock.
No, I didn't actually. Did not. Under a minute left here, second period, 2-1 Samuels. First match of the evening, 152 pounds. Paulsboro and Collingswood in a sold-out gym at Paulsboro. And considering there's no school today and there was ice and snow and sleet, and what a crowd.
A great crowd. And of course, Collingswood had school today because they're mainly a pedestrian school where a lot of people can walk to school. In Paulsboro, there is a little bit more bus traffic because they have a sending district. There was no school today, but the season is growing short, and there aren't many places to put a rescheduled match.
.35 seconds left, still a 2-1 lead. Samuels with the only takedown.
And stalking.
Vanazzi with the escape here in the second. Tries for the shot. It's going to have enough room on the line to finish.
And Samuels has to sprawl in that situation. He can't relax. And of course, Vanazzi has the stalling warning. So it would really benefit Samuels to keep the pressure on. Can't go backing up. This is a match where if you can't get up for this match after what happened last year, you'll never get up for a wrestling match.
And we go to the third, 2-1 lead. Samuels will have his choice.
Paul Marina, the head coach from Paulsboro, imploring Samuels to fire out off the bottom. Can't get lethargic at this point. He has to really explode and go after points.
And tries to get right to his feet, gets the escape. Now he's got to watch. No escape yet. Did not award the point.
No, because Vanazzi went in there, grabbed the leg right away. Samuels has to throw a hard crossface, try to get to his feet, try to stretch out, try to get separation. He won't get an escape unless he gets separation. There's a stalemate.
Yeah. Vanazzi was, I think, almost thinking he gave up the one and then was trying to get the two to tie the match.
Now he gives up the automatic one. You just tell the official what you want, and the other wrestler automatically goes to his feet and gets an escape.
Now 3-1.
Interestingly, on the Collingswood bench, besides head coach Ron Hamri, who is 386, 132-1 in his 24th year as head coach, is assisted by a lot of wrestlers he coached. Declan Moody, Dan Sheets, Tom McConnell, who was the head coach at
There's a shot
Kingsley
by
last year.
Vanazzi.
Samuel has to throw the overhook in there hard. Mark McGurns, another assistant coach, he also wrestled for Hamri.
Looks like we have an injury time, or is it a blood time? Not quite sure. 3-1 lead, Samuels, 1:09 left here, period number 1.
Paul Marina, head coach at Paulsboro in his 24th year, 475 wins, 27 losses, 4 ties. Last week, in the history of the Paulsboro program, they won their 950th match. Their career record now at the high school, 952, 74, and 12, and the program's in its 67th year.
You talk about Paul Marino. I saw Bob Frederick pop his head into the gym a few minutes ago. It's a lot of wins between those two coaches, the last two coaches Paulsboro's had in that streak.
No question whatsoever. Bob Frederick ended up his career at Paulsboro with like 6 losses.
There's the shot. We got a stall warning against Paulsboro also. So both kids have been hit with the stall warning. Samuel's doing a nice job fighting off that shot though, Vogt.
Yeah, but he has to be aggressive at this point. He can't get lethargic out there and get taken down. If he gets called for stalling again, that's going to be a point. The best defense in this situation is to continue to be aggressive.
That's what he does there, 48 seconds left. There's a shot by Vanazzi.
And again, Samuels was very, very slow to react. Got to throw a hard overhook in. Push down on the head.
Samuel's got to find out where he is on the mat. Nice job.
Of course, the Collingswood wanting the Paulsboro wrestler fleeing the mat. He has to be aggressive or he'll get called for stalling.
There's the shot by Samuels again on the line. Will he finish it? Got the 2. 5-1 lead, 13 seconds
to
left.
go when he got that takedown. Again, 13 seconds, all he's got to do is break him down and ride him out.
And Samuels is going to hold on to win 5-1. Paulsboro up 3-0. And keep track of these wins, Vogt, because this thing might go down to the tiebreaker tonight.
It very well could, so every win becomes important.
This is when we think Collingswood should be favored. Paulsboro is going to send out Martell, correct?
Yes.
Heinel and Martell.
Okay, Heinel is their veteran. He's expected to get big points in this weight class. He's got 20 wins and 3 losses this year. He is a senior.
And gets a quick takedown.
Martell, who's a light 160-pounder. He's not a true 60-pounder. 7-8 this year, 7-17 over the last 2 years. This is where bonus points become very, very important in a match.
Heinel beat Samuels last year 6-0 in this match, and then he beat Buckley, pinned Buckley, 3 minutes and 58 seconds. So he won both times last year, and he's going to get some back points right here. There's the count. No one, only got a 1 count.
Got a 1 count.
And I think that's all Paulsboro's asking is Martell, stay in this match, just stay close. Don't give up the big points. But Collingswood very aggressive here.
Heinel, a true 160-pounder. He weighed in at 160.7 pounds. Martell weighed in at 150 pounds. So there is a big weight differential here.
And the record 20-3.
And been through a lot of close matches, so he knows, he understands where the pressure is. He's got to put the pressure on. Martell just is fighting for survival out there. Martell had 2 tough losses down in Hamilton against Hamilton and Williamstown wrestlers, but both of those matches were against top-ranked kids in South Jersey. This is a fight for survival.
Yeah, we got a guy out there for Collingswood, first in districts last year, 3rd in the region.
Truly a tested veteran, there's no question about it. Stalling warning has been given to Martell.
And we end the first period, 2-0 lead. 3-0 on the team scoreboard. Paulsboro leads.
Good job, Bruce!
Paulsboro's choice, you're going to take the down position. If I were Collingswood, I would almost give him the automatic escape, go for the takedown to back points. Of course, Heinel is a tested veteran. As you mentioned, his placement last year.
There's the back points. He gets 2.
A tilt.
Now 4-0. Stretching Martell out.
See, he's got the leg wide in there, and he's prying the half. Just got to watch the shoulder in that kind of a situation. Officials watching it closely. Awful lot of pressure on that shoulder.
Martell's spent a lot of time on the bottom in this match. 1 minute into the second period, more back points. 2 more, 6-0.
Again, he's trying to pry with the leg right in and pry the half Nelson over.
Watch the elbow!
People are yelling, watch the elbow. It's more the shoulder than it is the elbow. In any event, Martell has a wrestler who's very experienced that he's trying to battle.
Caution on Paulsboro.
Caution on Paulsboro because he was in a set position and then he got out of the set position and came up to adjust his uniform. Once you're in a set position, you must stay in that position. Heinel again trying to pry the half. Oh my.
What can you do if you're Martell in this situation? Obviously, the Collingswood wrestlers is a skilled wrestler. What do you do there? Just try and stand up and break loose, obviously.
Yeah, you just try and survive. I mean, you got to keep your head up. Broken for potentially dangerous or a stalemate. 11 seconds to go in the period. You have to explode off the bottom. You have to keep your head up, and you have to keep battling. You know you're at a disadvantage going out there. You're giving away weight. You're giving away experience. It's a matter of survival.
He's going to try and get a couple, but he won't. We'll go into the third, 6-0 lead for Heinel. Now we'll see what you would imagine he'll start neutral, correct, Vogue?
Well,
get the takedown, maybe try and put him on his back, and he is. No, he's going to take on top.
Either that or get right on top because
he's dominating.
Yes, he's dominating on top, and he needs back points. He's got a 6-0 lead. He needs 2 more points to get a major decision and 14 points.
Martell again standing up.
And that's what he has to do. He has to get his head up at the whistle, and he has to come into a standing position and try and move. If he stands and stops, that gives Heinel a chance to throw the legs in. Heinel, the bigger wrestler, the stronger wrestler.
Collingswood people asking for some back points there. Going to
There's
get a count
exposure.
here. Nope.
It's only got one count. Has to break that plane.
Remember, a warning already on Martell, so he's got to move on bottom now.
Of course, what's the official looking for? Is he being dominated? Is he trying to come up off that bottom position? If he's trying to, you don't very well hit him for stalling against a superior wrestler.
There's the warning.
Well,
That's a point, 7-0.
got to get his head up and try and explode out there off the bottom.
Under a minute, 7-0 lead. Crowder saying, let him go and try for the takedown. The Collingswood bench said, give up the 1 and go for the 2. And there it is, 7-1 now. I think the smart move there, Voj.
Yeah, but there's a neutral.
Build your 8-point lead because Martell's not getting out once he gets him down. So you might as well give up the 1. You get a takedown here.
And Heinel has Martell in a precarious position because Martell's already been hit with a stalling point 30 seconds ago. If he gets a takedown, it'll be a major decision. Martell's in on the leg, trying to hold on for dear life. Really battling.
Martell's just like to sit there, but I knew he was going to get a stalemate.
Yep, 11 seconds. 11 seconds.
But he's got to go right at him because he's been hit for stalling. He can't.
His best defense right now is to be aggressive.
Another caution on Paulsboro.
Got to step on the red line out there. Can't back off.
And there's the takedown coming right here, though. Not yet. There's the 2, big takedown. And it's going to be a major decision and a 4-point win, 4-3 now for Collingswood. That's going to be interesting, Voj, 171, because we're going to see Gentile for Paulsboro. It looks like Simone. We'll see if we get Simone. It is Simone and Gentile.
2 of the better wrestlers on both teams. Gentile this year is 20 wins, 2 losses, 84 career wins. First in the Council Rock tournament. Simone, 21 wins, 3 losses, 2nd in the districts last year, 3rd in the Neptune tournament this year.
Last year in the dual meet, Gentile won 11-3, and then Simone wrestled Martell at 160 and beat him 11-3 in the South Jersey Group 1 championship.
Again, these upper weights are all key because you want to keep the points you're giving to a minimum. Collingswood already has 1 bonus point. And they're counting on Gentile to come out here and if not win, try and get a major. But the winning is the most important thing right now for Paulsboro.
See Gentile Paulsboro crowd looking for a stall warning, and there's a takedown. Do we have one? No.
Nope.
Collingswood coaching staff thinking that was a takedown.
And they don't want to come up jumping at referee Al Maloney like that, or they're going to cause themselves a team point. Simone weighed in at 170.8 pounds. Gentile weighed in at 171.5 pounds. So they're very, very similar in weight out there. Now it comes down to aggression and who wants it the most.
Of course, Simone, we had a chance to honor him at Touchdown Club this year, Touchdown Club of Southern New Jersey. Pretty good football player also.
Excellent football player on a Collingswood team that struggled this year. I see Simone's strategy there. He is pushing Gentile to the out-of-bounds line. When you feel yourself being pushed like that, you have to circle in. Again, Simone with a solid shot.
5 seconds left here in the first.
For Gentile has to be very, very alert out there.
I believe both of Gentile's losses, Voch, coming in overtime this year.
Both of them did. One was in that early season dual meet tournament at Rowan University.
039940. 039940.
Just want to tell you, another streak continues, Voch. I lost a 50-50 again. Gentile
Well,
on
you're
bottom.
keeping your streak intact.
Exactly.
Gentile got a very fast start that time, and Collingswood thought that he maybe false started. Got to be careful to go on the referee's whistle.
Gentile stands up, but Simone puts him right back down on the mat.
Simone's a very strong wrestler. Key in a referee's position, what referees look for is the knee to be placed properly, then the hand on the belly, and then the hand on the elbow. Knee, belly, elbow.
Caution on Paulsboro. He did jump the gun that time. 16 seconds into the second. We're scoreless. Collingswood leads 4-3, third match of the evening.
And of course, you can have 2 false starts before any penalty is invoked. After 2 false starts or 2 cautions, every caution after that is a point. There's a neutral.
Got the 1-0 Gentile.
With the talent and experience these 2 wrestlers have, this is a match that very well could end up 1-1 after regulation. We mentioned the 2 losses for Gentile were overtime losses, once in that dual meet tournament at the beginning of the year against a wrestler from Grand Valley, Pennsylvania. The other loss was in the finals of the Mustang Classic at Brick Memorial.
We'll go back to the center again, 44 seconds. Gentile up 1-0.
Very obvious that Simone has spent a lot of time this year in the weight room.
Blocking every attempt by Gentile.
Yeah, and Gentile went to take a shot that time with his arms out, which is not what you want to do. Simone gets in deep again. Gentile knows how to react to it.
Gentile grabbing his ankle.
Looked like he turned it a little bit as he went out of bounds. And notice when Gentile shot that time, Simone got out of the way and he came right back with his own shot. You have to be ready for the man to come right back at you if you take a shot. If you take a shot in the neutral position and you don't get it and you go to back out, be ready for that opponent to come right at you.
Gentile in on that shot again. Simone fighting him off. Not going to have enough room, I don't think, or enough time. Clock moving down, counting down to 6 as we go back to the center.
Watch your reshots, Jim.
Well, Simone will probably start on the bottom here as we go to the third. Gentile up 1-0. And Simone will start down. Gentile asking for an injury time. You look around this gym, Vogue, some pretty good wrestlers in this gym. There was sitting together at one point Tom Curl, Mike Mendenhall, and Ryan O'Hara. And remember them, their freshman year, they only finished #1 in the state, that team.
Yes. They had great careers, great year that year, and great careers. Of course, another thing that people might be doing. Of course, I don't know if people do this anymore. They record these things on video cassettes.
Yeah.
You'll be interested to know that in 1970, the video cassette recorders changed home entertainment forever.
In the 70s.
1970, the VCR.
In 1980, that might have been one of the first ones.
Yep. And that also was the year that Apollo 18 and USSR's Soyuz 19 linked up in space.
Where were you, Voj? Were you teaching here, or were you in the newspaper business in the 70s?
In 1970, I had left my first stint at Paulsboro as an English teacher and was employed under Bob Schreirock at the Woodbury Times, which became the Gloucester County Times.
There you go. Okay, we get ready for action in the third period. Gentile with a 1-0 lead. Collingswood leads 4-3. We started at 1:52, so this is the third match of the evening. And we're tied at 1. 3 seconds into the period. Simone with the escape. And this one might go into overtime, like you said, though. It's going to be a tight match.
Well, if Gentile is going to place in the state, he is going to have to do a better job of riding on top. He's very good on his feet, except you saw in this match he couldn't get a takedown because Simone also is a talented wrestler with strength. So you're battling strength and technique now. And of course, a takedown is not only paramount in regulation, but when they go to overtime, the first 1 minute of overtime is you start on your feet. Then you have two 30-second periods. And if they were to go...
Simone again in on that leg, Voj. He's got room this time. Let's see what he does. Nice job by Gentile fighting off that takedown attempt.
And like I was saying, if it goes to the ultimate tiebreaker, the last 30-second tiebreaker, the person who would get the choice would be the first point scored in this match, which was Gentile's. That's looking pretty far ahead.
Simone on that leg again.
And he's getting good, clean shots in there. Still has the overhook in. He can't give the takedown with the overhook in, or the whizzer, or as Nicky B used to call it, the wizard.
Yep. Another one of those great Paulsboro wrestlers here tonight. 30 seconds left.
Gentile has to be going forward.
Warning against Paulsboro.
17 seconds to go. You can't back up. Oh my. Oh my.
Nice job by Simone that time fighting off the takedown attempt by Gentile. 7 seconds left.
Reacted very quickly with that overhook, and that's the secret. Oh my.
2 seconds.
Well, you know what this is headed for?
I don't know, Voj.
Overtime.
There we go.
Everything carries over.
Only one stall warning, and that's against Gentile.
So Gentile cannot back off in this period. If he gets hit with stalling, the match will be over. This is a sudden victory period. 1 minute on their feet. Gentile has to be showing some aggression. Simone's coming right at him, backing him up. If he backs him up without a shot being taken, you have a stalling situation.
So it's almost like the wrestler's scared to make a mistake.
Well, they are because
Just a lot on the line here.
Yeah, it's a tie, and this is a very, very important bout in the scheme of things tonight. Every individual bout is going to be very, very important tonight.
16 seconds. Gentile trying to grab that leg. Simone just doesn't want to go down though.
No.
1 second.
There again, Simone's strength paid off because most normal wrestlers would have been taken down in that situation. Now we go into the first 30-second overtime period.
Remind our viewers that they keep wrestling. Should the bottom wrestler get out, we'll still finish out the 30 seconds.
Absolutely. So if Simone gets out right away, Gentile's going to have to stalk him. This is where a real good ride would pay off in overtime. Break the man down. Don't let him get away.
Break him down, but you got to stay aggressive because you've been hit for a stall warning.
He's been hit with a stall warning, so if he doesn't stay aggressive. Looks like Gentile was asking referee Maloney for a clarification.
There's the escape. 2-1 Simone.
And they keep wrestling. And again, Gentile cannot afford to back up.
Now we'll see Gentile on the bottom here.
He has to get off the bottom. Simone rising for 30 seconds. He has a 2-1 win. He has a 2-1 lead right now. Gentile has 24 seconds to score an escape, or the match is over.
I would think Paulsboro's expecting points more in this match than Collingswood. There's a caution on Paulsboro.
That is the second one. So if he does it again, he gives up a point.
Take your time, Jim.
Simone just picks him up. He's got to watch out. It could get reversed, though. Gentile's going to get at least one. He got the one. That's a reversal. He's going to win this match, folks.
Got a reversal.
He's going to hold him out another 2 seconds, and he does. Wow. Now we got the escape. He got the escape at the 1 second now.
Wow.
Oh. That was close. I was trying to watch both. So Gentile's going to have 30 seconds to get out, basically, is what it comes down to.
This is the ultimate tiebreaker. 30 seconds to get out. If he gets out, he wins.
How about that? Simone, give him credit. He took that to the wire. Didn't quit on that. This is it. Right down to this. Gentile right back down to the mat.
Gentile trying everything to get a point.
Get it? 16 seconds left. Still tied at 3. Simone holds him down. Collingswood wins at 171.
The final score would be 4-3 if he rides him out.
Here it is. Gentile wins on the escape with 12 seconds left. What a match, folks. Tell you what, fans should stand up and give those two kids a standing ovation.
What a great job by both guys.
Paulsboro now leads 6-4. Boy, we should have saved that one to the end.
That would have been a great way to close out a match, but the luck of the draw.
89 pounds, Dentino and Bussey.
Bussey and Dentino, Vogue, 189.
Brendan Dentino, a senior, 15 wins and 7 losses this year. His opponent, newcomer to the Paulsboro lineup, Jared Bussey, a junior, 4 wins and no losses this year. Again, you got experience and a full season of experience going against a new face in the lineup. First blood drawn by Dentino with a takedown. Question here will be stamina.
2-1.
Bussey wrestled for Camden earlier in the year. His mother moved back to Paulsboro. He finally became certified to wrestle. He's slowly getting into Paulsboro shape. Told he's a very strong wrestler. Oh my, oh my.
Gotta watch.
Oh my. Bad experience. Didn't know what to do when he got in deep. Could have had the takedown. He gave up 2 and 2 on that move, a takedown and near fall.
6-1.
This is where experience comes into play. Full season for Brendan Dentino. Another
6-2
escape.
now.
How'd Dentino do last year?
Did not wrestle in this match, Voj. Either one.
Did not wrestle in either one. So a measure of revenge on Paulsboro's mind, but Dentino, a fresh face in the lineup, played no part in those 2 wins last year.
As we look at his older brother, Jared Caltabiano. We go to the second period. 6-2 lead, Dentino.
Back points were huge in that second period following the takedown. Bussey will start on the bottom. Again, stamina is so much a big key in wrestling. Bussey had a real big win on Saturday in the Hamilton match, beating a wrestler who had only had 1 loss going onto the mat, and a regional place winner a year ago.
You know, Dentino has 7 losses, but a couple of those losses, some pretty good wrestlers. He's lost to Mancuso. A lot of people have lost to Mac Mancuso.
Oh, yeah.
Also lost 5-0 to Jimmy Owens, who I think Paulsboro's going to see in a couple nights. 6-3 now.
This is where Bussey has to be careful, because if he's going to fire for a takedown, he has to make sure that he is in control. We can't do it recklessly.
Minute 12 left in the second period. 6-3 lead. Brandon Dentino of Collingswood. Paulsboro leads 6-4.
Minute remaining in the second period. Dentino weighing in at 187.4 pounds. Bussey weighed in at 188.1 pounds. So Bussey a couple pounds heavier, but not nearly the mat time that Dentino has had this year.
.25 seconds left in the period. 6-3 lead. Not much since that flurry in the first period.
Well, less than 15 seconds to go in the period, Bussey has to be very, very careful not to give up points at the end of the period.
He's trying to get a takedown. He's going to run out of time. Took that shot a little bit late.
Yep.
We go to the third, 6-3 lead.
And I'm sure Dentino will take the down position. Again, Bussey, a very strong individual. Bussey does not take the chance of giving him a 2-point move off the bottom. So it automatically gives him the escape, and it's now 7-3, Dentino. This is where those repetitions in the practice room pay off. You practice takedowns every day.
Bussey with that takedown attempt there.
But see the overhook in right away? That's what a good wrestler is going to do. You look like you're in jeopardy being taken down, but you get that overhook in right away and you counter that takedown.
Dentino with the shot this time.
Good duck under.
And he's going to get a
Been
takedown.
behind, got a takedown. And see, there was technique over brute strength.
Now 9-4. Dentino may be thinking has a shot at some bonus points here. Minute 10 left.
Oh, he's got a 5-point lead. Of course, this is a better alternative than Paulsboro had 4 weeks ago when they were giving 6 points away at this weight class.
Bussey taking the shot.
And see the overhook in there again to counter that. You're going to get in on the legs. You have to really bury in deep on the legs. You can't allow your opponent a chance to get the overhook in.
Come on, he's slow.
20 seconds left.
Right about now.
Bussey just looking a little bit frustrated, Voj.
And fatigue. Fatigue sets in. Again, I think give him another week in the practice room and his stamina builds up.
Well, we've been through, what, 4 matches so far, Voj? It's 2-2 in the matches. The only bonus points coming to Collingswood. 9-4 final. I don't know if they gave him a takedown at the buzzer or not.
9-4.
And we get ready for 215 pounds. And we know it's going to be green wall for Paulsboro, correct?
I would think. And I would think DiLiberto. Unless they just forfeit to him.
And that's...
Yep, they're going to put DiLiberto up to go against Savania and go for the 6-6.
You called it, Voj.
DiLiberto, a senior, 17-5 this year, second in the district last year for Collingswood. He's wrestling a junior, Mikhail Savania, 4-1 this year. He's the backup to Nicky Curl, who's out injured at this time after sustaining a dislocated elbow. Again, you have a wealth of experience in DiLiberto's corner. Takedown for DiLiberto.
In the dual meet last year, DiLiberto won a major over Greg Grimes, 16-2, and then back in the Group 1 championship, he was pinned at 189 by Zach Greenwald.
Which is why they didn't want Greenwald against him tonight. Savania weighed in at 255 pounds. DiLiberto at 209 pounds. So DiLiberto is giving away weight for experience.
There's the escape by Savania. It's now 2-1. We're a minute into the first period here at heavyweight.
See, that's what Savania has to be careful of. The other wrestler is a taller wrestler, so you have to watch your balance out there. Again, DiLiberto using his height to an advantage. Takes him down. As soon as they touch the mat, with all four supporting points, that's automatically a takedown. That was a good call.
And the escape now 4-2. DiLiberto's probably going to look for one quick takedown here in the final 12 seconds of the first period. Nice job by Savania, though. Keep it on the aggressor. Staying the aggressor.
Yeah, you have to be the aggressor in this type of a match, but he's got to remember there's a height differential and there's an experience differential.
Watch your shot.
Couple injuries suffered by Paulsboro, right, in the last couple of weeks. Grimes and Curl, Vogue.
Yeah, Casey Grimes had just come out. And he was giving them a little bit of flexibility up top, and he hurt his knee against Hamilton. I doubt if he'll be back this year. And Nicky Curl suffered a dislocated elbow, and he's undergoing treatment. As you see, Savania come off the bottom.
Now 4-3.
And the injury that Curl sustained is a traumatic type of injury. Takes time to recover from. The rehab, if it's successful, means you might not see him until the district tournament, if you see him then.
Dentino, DiLiberto with both takedowns. Savania with 3 escapes. Another shot by DiLiberto. We're going to go out. No takedowns. We go back to the center with 1:07 left here in the second.
Savania, known as Scope to everyone in school. Huge challenge for Scope.
Another takedown, 6-3.
Again, he forces him to the mat. He's got that leg ride inside, so that's where the takedown comes from.
Now 6-4.
Well, one thing you got to give Scope credit for in this match, Savania is not backing off. He is mixing it up. Definitely not as experienced and not as skilled, but he certainly is not fearful.
Under 30 seconds left.
By the way, you mentioned a nearly sellout. Oh, I guess it's a sellout crowd here.
I don't think nearly's the word.
2 busloads of Collingswood students made the trip here for this match.
Down to 13 seconds.
You'd almost kind of hope that, or think about in the last period, giving the escape to DiLiberto rather than have scope on the mat where he could be tied up and possibly turned for back points.
And we go to the third, 6-4 lead, Mark DiLiberto.
This is a match that Collingswood definitely was looking for bonus points.
DiLiberto finishing second last year, District 28. Looks like we're going to have an injury timeout for Savania.
Gives the automatic escape to Savania.
So we'll start the period at 7-4.
Or 6-4. If he gives him the automatic escape.
Okay, I'm assuming he's giving the escape. I shouldn't do that until it happens. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Okay, third period action. There's the 1-point escapes. Now 7-4. 12-7, Paulsboro leads.
And Savania used that freestyle start where he had the hands on the back, thinking maybe he could catch DiLiberto by surprise. But again, you're talking about a very, very experienced wrestler in DiLiberto.
Oh, Ray Savania is wrestling. I'm not going to have to worry about him getting hit for stalling. I know that.
No, he's being the aggressor out there, which is the thing you have to do. More blood time, I think.
Blood time, you can have the blood time. You don't have the choice. The guy doesn't have his choice in the second blood time. It's only injury time, correct?
Injury time. After you've had your 2 injury timeouts, after the second injury timeout, the other opponent has a choice of where he wants to start.
Now you're going to forfeit the Duka too. Climb back up.
A little back and forth play between the fans and the Collingswood bench. I think talking about that forfeit vote.
Well, they are, because Greenwald was probably superior to anything that Collingswood could send out. And obviously what they were doing was taking their experienced wrestler, DiLiberto, and putting him against an inexperienced wrestler in Savania and hoping to trade 6 for 6. Very common practice in wrestling nowadays. I doubt if you'll see an opponent against Duka tonight.
Even if you weigh somebody in, why not send somebody out there? I mean, we're seeing it here, what happened.
Well, that's what's killing the sport nowadays. You got a wrestler and you weigh him in, put him out there. I mean, the worst that can happen to him is give up 6 points. We're giving up 6 points anyway.
Here we go, 136 to wrestle.
7-4, DiLiberto with the lead. I will give Savania an A+ for aggression and effort. He's certainly not afraid to be out there. What Savania has to be afraid of, or careful of, is not exposing himself to where he could be taken down to his back.
On the flip side, though, Voj, do you think Hamrick's thinking that he was going to get bonus points here?
Oh, unquestionably.
And he still could. There's still 1 minute and 1 left.
Yeah, unquestionably. He was obviously going for a 6 for 6 swap. I'll give you a forfeit of 215. DiLiberto, you go out there and you pin this kid. He's not experienced like you are.
That last takedown attempt, it looked like DiLiberto just a little bit frustrated not being able to get the takedown on Savania.
Well, and he should be, because the word from the bench was, we need 6 points from you. You're the senior. You're experienced. You go out there and you get us 6. And Savania is in a survival mode. He knows he doesn't have the amount of experience that DiLiberto has, so if he only gives up 3 points, that's a moral victory.
And wrestling's one sport, Votes, where you can lose and win.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Win for the team. I mean.
Savania will get a standing ovation from the Paulsboro fans if he only gives up 3 points in this bout.
And there's only 5 seconds left.
And he's still staying the aggressor out there. Great job by Scope.
You hear the crowd right now votes 3 seconds. And you're right, standing ovation by the Paulsboro crowd.
And through the first 6 bouts, we have a 3-3 split.
I'm assuming when they count bonus points at the end in the tiebreaker that the forfeit counts as a pin, right?
Yes.
103.
Anthony Canau of Paulsboro, Tony Giancola from Collingswood. Giancola, 10 wins, 13 losses this year. Anthony Canau, a senior, 19-4 this year, 73 career wins. Again, like Collingswood wanted 6 points from DiLiberto. Anything less than 6 points from Canau would be disappointing.
And he got the quick takedown. And Giancola, light 103-pounder vote, 92 pounds.
Yes, and you notice Canau pick him up, try to go for that Turk with the leg. His mission is one thing, go for the 6. Canau missed a big portion of last year with an injury, so he is really first full year performer for Paulsboro this year. He's trying to make the most of it. Oh my, oh my.
We haven't had a pin yet tonight,
Oh
Vogt.
my.
We're close here. 40 seconds left in the first. There it is.
Oh my.
$18-10, and it's now 4-3 in bouts. I want to update that every chance we get. And you talked about Paulsboro's got to score big in these lighter weights. Here's one, though, I think that Collingswood will be a favorite in.
Without a doubt.
112 pounds,
Hatel
Hatel and Zold.
and Zold.
Jim Hatel, a veteran for Collingswood, 17-6 this year. He's a sophomore, 4th in the district a year ago. Mike Zold of Paulsboro. Zold is a sophomore as well, 15-7 this year. Again, Zold will not back off in this bout, but Hatel, more the experienced wrestler.
Hatel wrestled at 103 last year, lost to Rapa twice in the 2 meetings with Paulsboro and Collingswood, once a major and one a regular decision. No points there. We'll go back to the center, 1:19 left first period.
And you notice even though Zold was in on him and got what would have been a takedown, inbounds, his left toe was out of bounds on that move, so therefore no takedown given. Again, a match with big implications in the Colonial Conference, because now with the split into 2 divisions, the Liberty and the Patriot, both these teams are going to win their divisions. So this becomes for bragging rights in the entire Colonial Conference.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't like that move, do you?
Absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Now, who votes on that? The conference athletic directors or what?
The conference ADs. Just another opportunity to water down the sport. You already watered it down with 14 weight classes, and now you're taking what could be an overall conference champion and you're weakening it a little bit by making divisions. Because that's what they do in a lot of the other sports, and they're just following suit in wrestling. Wrestling is unique. No place for divisional split-ups in this particular sport.
just like I talked about at 171, I think Paulsboro was counting on a win, and it was a nice win by Gentile against Simone, and take nothing away from Zold, but I think this is when Collingswood thinks they have.
Oh, absolutely. They got that chalked up already in the win column for them.
So we're scoreless as we go into the second. Hatel will have his choice. He'll defer. Zold will take down.
And they must not be expecting it to end up in overtime, because if it were to end up in overtime and go to that ultimate tiebreaker, if Zold scores the first point in the match, he would have the choice in the ultimate tiebreaker.
And we've been talking about that for years, Voj. Whenever there's no score, you got to get that point first.
Absolutely mystifies me sometimes. But then again, I'm not under the pressure of being a coach nowadays, so a lot of things I don't understand.
Yeah, when you got 5 or 6 guys on that bench to help you out. I mean, come on, somebody's got to, one guy's in charge of this, one guy's in charge of that. Just a reminder, hey.
We mentioned Dan Sheets and Tom McConnell, who was the coach last year at Kingsway. Declan Moody, Mark McGurn, all wrestled for Hamri, being a part of the assistant coaching staff, Mike Anderson and Mike Asperry. Paulsboro has its share of great assistant coaches, too. Longtime assistant Dean Duka is over there. Nicky Marina's over there. Todd Palmisano, Steve Anashevsky. Got some great wrestling minds in attendance tonight.
Hatel has Zold in trouble. No back points.
Very close. Got that leg in there. You got to be able to get. Guy's going to throw the leg in there. You got to know what to do to get out of that position. Got to move.
And maybe that's why they said, Hatel, you take top to begin the period. They know how he is on top.
Yes. Get that deadly leg right in there and crank the man over. Get the first points by back points. That's why if you got the down position, you got to be able to get off the bottom. If you're going to be a winning wrestler, you must have a takedown. You must be able to get off the bottom.
Let me go back to the center. 1:11 left. Don't be surprised if you see a caution here, Voj. Nope.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Nothing. Once again, the Collingswood crowd thinking a little slow on the count.
Yeah, but Zold feels this coming, this pressure coming in. He has got to explode off the bottom.
Right, he's got to watch. He's got to move off the bottom because he don't want to get hit for a warning either in a tight match like this.
And Hatel, with all that experience he has, he knows exactly what he has to do. Zold trying to trying to block the foot coming in.
Potentially dangerous. Zold, man, I'm finally getting out.
Yep. And that's what he has to do. He has to know that leg ride's coming in. You're going to defense that leg ride right away.
.32 seconds. Hatel doing a great job on top here.
Yes, he is. In complete control. Can't wrestle with your head on the mat. There's a position there. Sometimes if you have good hips, you can throw your hips in there and try to come off the bottom. But Hatel has everything covered right now.
And as I said, great call by the Collingswood coaching staff choosing the
top position, and Hatel did his job by riding out the period. You got to be careful here not to give up a quick reversal. As he escaped by Hatel, he has the first points in the match and the lead. Here again, I think Collingswood's side was thinking of bonus points in this match. Not just a win, but a bonus points win. Talk to Tom Hamri. prior to the match the other day, we didn't talk the night before the match, but he said the key was where the match started, odd and even, and bonus points.
Zold trying for the takedown here.
Oh my!
Does not get it.
I think he shocked Hatel a little bit right there.
I even noticed in the first period, Zold looks pretty good on his feet.
Which kind of surprised me in the second period by taking down. Of course, you would have been, possibly giving up the first points.
Right. I think you had to take bottom there.
Well, you had to try and get the first point. So
right.
If you can escape off the bottom, that's a point. And like I said, in order to be a champion wrestler and a state qualifier, you've got to be able to come off the mat. You've got to be able to get takedowns in crucial situations. This is where Zold has to get out of that tied up position right there, get himself in a position where he can try and go for a takedown. He's not going to get a takedown under there.
Down to 32 seconds.
All those hours of practicing takedowns in a room should be going through your mind right now. What's going to work best?
We see Glenn Howard looking on there for a second.
And Zold just got hit with a stalling warning for taking his time coming back into the mat. So he's been warned for stalling.
Another one. There's a point. That's a big point now. 2-0. Hatel's going to hold on. A second left. It's 2-0. Will make the team score 18-13. Bounce 4-4, right?
Yes.
Maybe
Even
a little
split.
tougher than Collingswood thought as we look at the Collingswood fans. Brett Palumbo and Rapa, Rapa.
Brett Palumbo, of course, the wrestler that got hurt last year and had surgery. Even to see him back on the mat this year is kind of a shock, so to speak. Brett Palumbo, 12 wins and 7 losses this year. Third in the district 2 years ago because he wasn't around at district finals time last year. Rapa, a sophomore, 15-2 this year. 36 career wins so far. Again, you're looking at experience here. Brett Palumbo being a senior. Now, I think going in, this is a match that Paulsboro felt that they could be favored in. Rapa just can't get sloppy out there. Has to remember his basic technique, basic fundamentals.
Palumbo wrestled 112 last year
Yep.
in the first match. Obviously wasn't available for the second match.
And you notice getting in on the ankle that last time. Rapa has to know how to finish. There's 2.
31 seconds left, first 2-0 lead, Rapa.
Rapa has to be careful.
Yeah, Rapa's definitely one of the taller 19-pounders you're going to see.
Imagine what he would look like at 112 pounds.
Let him go with 5 seconds left. Couldn't hold on. 2-1. It'll be interesting to see, Voj, come tournament time, where these guys finally settle in. Will Duka end up at 19? Will he stay 25?
Well, Duka's going to go 19 by the time we get to the district tournament. So that means one of two things. Either Rapa is going to be at 112 pounds and Zold will have to go up and challenge, or Zold will be at 112 and Rapa will have to go up and challenge.
Palumbo starts on the bottom. He trails by a point. 18-13. Paulsboro leads. We're at 119 pounds. We started at 152. And we're split 4-4 in the matches.
Oh my!
Potentially dangerous. Here you see Zach Greenwald. Didn't have a chance to go out there and wrestle. Won by forfeit today.
Yeah, he's not a happy camper right now.
Yeah, you work out all week. This is your big. This is a match you've been looking at the whole season.
Well, after last year and at the double revenge factor, you see the escape tying the match up at 2-2. Everyone wants to do their part out there tonight. And Greenwald, I'm sure, appreciated the 6 points for his team, but he wanted to earn those 6 points. Rapa doing a lot of chasing.
There's Tom Curl, Sr. One son won a state title. His second son enjoying a pretty good career of his first 2 years at Paulsboro.
Another lightning quick strike on the ankle, but now you have to be able to finish it. You got to know what you're doing with it.
Nice
Palumbo,
job by Palumbo, though.
Great job getting out of trouble.
.49 seconds left here in the second.
Oh my. Again, Rapa in deep. Trying to come out the back door.
Nice watch out he doesn't get taken
oh
down.
my. Oh my.
He does, 4-2.
Great counter by Palumbo. He takes the lead. 15 seconds to go in the second period. Rapa trying to come out. He's got two.
Got a reversal.
Oh my.
Back points. He's going to get it back
Oh
now.
my.
Up to 2 back points. Period's over. 2 back points. 6-4 lead.
Great move at the end by Rapa.
There's my man T-Bone watching the match. A lot of big wrestling fans here, not just Paulsboro Collingswood people. There's fans of the sport here tonight. Paul Marino looking on. 6-4 lead Rapa.
Well, some of the scheduled matches I know were probably postponed because of snow. So this is one of the affairs going on. It was all over the internet today about what time the match started. A lot of people here.
There's the escape, 7-4. Smart move by Palumbo. You don't want to get in trouble. Just trying to hold on and give up a reversal like what happened at the end of the second period.
Rapa's not going to be satisfied with the decision, though. Got to be careful with Palumbo because he's got experience. Got that overhook in. He steps across. Trying to step across. Oh, my. Oh, my. Great job by Palumbo fighting it off. Oh, my.
He's in trouble,
Oh,
folks.
my.
Nice job by Palumbo, and he's got Rapa in trouble when he reverses him. He's on his back.
Oh, brother.
We got back points here.
Oh, my.
And time, 57 seconds. What a turnabout here. Wow. Within a span of 15-20 seconds, both wrestlers nearly pinned.
Absolutely.
Hamri wants to check the score.
11-9 after that flurry. Oh my.
Look at Hamri, Ron Hamri, the head coach.
Tell you what, there's also a sign of a veteran official. Never panicked out there. Never panicked.
Ron Hamri wants to discuss the situation with Al Maloney. As we take a look in there. Bravo.
Well, they got 11-9 on the board. I got 12-9 Paulsboro. If he gave 3 points to that back points that Rapa had following his takedown. Paulsboro had a 6-4 lead. They got an escape. They got a takedown. Got back points, but evidently he only gave 2 back points, and then a reversal and 3 back points.
Now 11-9. 38
Gives
seconds left. Now
escape.
12-9. And Rapa in on the leg. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. There's the takedown. 14-9.
Going to flatten him out now and try and turn him over. What a great match.
Potentially dangerous again. 11 seconds left. If we got those 3 back points, Voj, I would have set it up as a major decision.
Yep.
As we see the Paulsboro Brain Trust. Duka, Marina.
Stop for potentially dangerous.
Caution. On Paulsboro. Rapa's going to hold on to win, 14-9. (21-13) Paulsboro. 5-4 Paulsboro leads in matches.
What a great match here. Great match. Both wrestlers.
Here we go, 125. DM is going out. Steve Shields for Collingswood.
Shields a sophomore, 6-4 record. Diema for Paulsboro, a junior, 18-6, has 60 career wins. Collingswood may have run out of miracles by this point.
I don't think so, Voj.
Well, Duka's going to get 6.
There's a takedown for Diema.
Of course, the thing that would cement Paulsboro's advantage would be to get bonus points in this match. Talking with Coach Paul Marina before the match tonight, he said the intensity has been unbelievable the last 2 days in the practice room. Of course, one thought was last year when Collingswood passed out T-shirts, some of the Paulsboro faithful are thinking about passing out T-shirts tonight that said "one and done."
I don't see those shirts.
I said, thought about it.
That's what I said, I don't see. And you know what, Voj, if it comes down to it, you might have to see Hamri come out there against Duka if that's their only shot.
It could be. Could well be.
Those points aren't going to help you if the match is over.
Yep.
Paulsboro definitely looking for bonus points here at 25.
Without a doubt. Collingswood still has another ace left in their lineup, and
Brian
Haristston. So they're going to be counting on Hamrick and Haristston maybe to produce 12 points.
As we see Hamrick right there.
That's why this bout is so important to try and get bonus points. Paulsboro's choice in this period. Diema takes the down position or the defensive position. His job here is to come off the bottom. Neutral, they're neutral.
3-0. Now 5-0.
Excellent spin behind move by Diema.
Yeah, I think you give him about 20 seconds, see what he can do on top. If not, you just cut him both.
I would agree. Shields is out there now to keep the bonus points to a minimum. Oh my.
Diema looking for a little revenge. Lost twice to Panisi last year from Collingswood.
Yep. And he got out of position. He's going to get reversed. Neutral.
Just gives up the 1, 5-1, 45 seconds.
Very close to giving up a reversal. One thing in wrestling is you can't rush moves out on the mat. Sometimes wrestlers have a tendency to rush, and when they rush, they don't follow through with the technique that's needed to secure points.
Short time.
10 seconds left in the period. This is a position that you don't want to give up any late points in. 5-1, and you're probably going to be on your feet or on top in the last period.
And we're going to go to the third. 5-1 lead, Diema.
Third period, Shields is going to take the down or defensive position. What do you do here? Do you try and ride him and get back points, or do you cut him early and go for the big move?
I do the 20-second thing, Voj. I'll know within the first 20 seconds if I'm out there, if I can turn this guy.
Shields is definitely putting up a battle.
Past the 20-second mark, so.
I think Diema still feels comfortable on top. Got to keep the other wrestler's hip down. Let the hips go up in the air, then you have some problems sometimes with the wrestler being able to stand up. Got what's called the Navy ride in on the legs. Oh my. Up.
Trying to finish that one.
Now couldn't keep the Navy ride in. Started to throw the half in, but when the hips get up, you have to get out of that position. Well, Diema needs 4 points for bonus points. Shields is going to belly down. Going to try and roll through here. If he, right there. He's got to come up off his belly as a neutral.
Now 5-2, 12 seconds left. Paulsboro's going to take a 24-13 lead after the 5-2 win by Sean Diema. They now won 6 out of the 10 matches, weight classes so far. Looks like the Paulsboro fans are trying to do the math. Duka does get 6. They almost have to pin out here.
Well, they are sending a wrestler out, but it's not Hamri. This could be over in a heartbeat. Got to keep your eyes open here.
Kazalio and Duka.
Kazalio, a junior, 5-4. It's already 2-0, and Duka's putting him right on his back, Vogue, right from, wow.
Just missed it when he took it back to the mat. Duka having a fabulous year, 23-0 on the season. He already has 96 career wins entering this bout. This could be getting his 97th win tonight. Hungry for a state title, working very hard.
2 more, now 6-2. I'm assuming Paulsboro's going to end with Dawson, McMullen, and Cosgrove, right, Coach?
I would think so, yes.
And it would be, if Paulsboro should pick up 6 here, it would be 17. They'd have to pin out.
Yes, they would.
Duka trying for the pin. He's going to get at least back points here. Trying to finish him off.
Got to sit through on it. Trying to sit through. Oh, my.
10 seconds. Does he have enough time? He got the pin.
My.
Seventh win for Paulsboro. It's now 30-13.
And that's 7 wins for Paulsboro into the final 3 bouts.
Dawson and Hamri now 135. Paulsboro's job, stay off their back.
Pretty big challenge for Anthony Dawson. Hamri having a great year. He is a sophomore. He's 17-4. Dawson is a sophomore, 9-13. Advantage definitely to Hamri.
One of Hamrick's losses to Charlie Huff of Washington Township, 6-5 this year. We saw Huff last year in Region 8. Also lost to a wrestler from Long Branch and lost a couple times in that trip to California.
Yeah, that trip to California had to be brutal. There were 93 teams in what was called the 5-county invitational. some of the Collingswood wrestlers that went out there got a chance to wrestle once, and that was it. Tournament followed the old NCAA setup, where if you lost to an opponent in the very first round, if the man who beat you got beaten the next round, you didn't get a chance to wrestle again.
Hamri opened up a lot of eyes last year, Vogeding, and then he had that nice match against Duka where he came back even though he lost.
Well, I think he gave everybody a little bit of a scare in that second match last year, including Duka, because he came within an eyelash of pinning him.
4-1. 4-2.
The moral victory here would being able to go 6 minutes with Eric Hamri, even if you give up bonus points. Stay out of the pin situation.
Yeah, if he only gets majored here, Paulsboro is going to win the match.
And Hamri knows that. I'm sure his father told him, we need 6. And if we don't get 6, we need 5.
And how about Dawson? You're spinning around a takedown. We're tied at 4. Nice takedown with under 10 seconds left.
Nice spin behind. Now, the object here is to try and keep him down for that 10 seconds. Dawson's a very strong wrestler, and he's a diamond in the rough. He's going to get better and better.
We go to the second period, tied at 4.
There's such a thing as a moral victory in the first period. That was it. Getting out of that period just tied 4-4.
Eric Hamri takes bottom. It's a good chance these two teams will meet again, Vog. I know Haddonfield will probably have something to say about that. We still have the playoff Group 1 tournament coming up. Paulsboro, Collingswood, and Haddonfield, the top 3 teams in Group 1 right now. Paulsboro, the number 1 seed, meaning they'd host the tournament.
And I think that's what's going to be paramount to see the escape.
This weekend being the cutoff. It's now 5-4 Hamri. Of course, Paulsboro ends their season as they usually do with Phillipsburg.
Yeah, that's going to be a journey up to Phillipsburg, and it could be a tough one because Phillipsburg has a very, very
Could be a tough one.
improved team this year. Saw them in the Council Rock tournament, and they are very good.
They could be the number 1 team in the state this year. I think it's going to come down to them and Eastern, Vog. I know Camden Catholic fans think they have a shot, and they probably have a shot. Having beat Eastern, they're going to argue that point if Eastern wins out.
Yeah, but what you have to look at the end of the year, you have to look at the lineups and see some of the wrestlers who
How about this by Dawson,
not there.
Vog?
Oh my, great shot, but Hamri does not panic.
Thing is, though, he's gaining confidence, and more he competes out there on the mat.
No question. Oh my, just missed. Getting a half in.
Trying to step over.
Oh
He's got to pop his head. Meanwhile, the clock keeps moving. He's got to watch out, though, Vog.
Spladle.
Wow, how about Hamri there?
Again, inexperience.
See Dawson trying to turn, but he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. Just trying to fight his way out.
Get back to his belly in a hurry because Hamri just got 2 points.
Trying to break that hold by Hamri.
There again, experience. Dawson, 2/3 of the way through a takedown. Hamri did not panic, got the spladle.
7-4. Here's the escape, now 7-5. Big point there at the end, Vog.
Yes.
Don't want to give up those late points. Of course, for Collingswood, they need 6 anyway. And no stall warnings either if you're Dawson. course, if you're Dawson, you don't want to be too complacent. You want to stay aggressive.
Yeah, got to stay aggressive because all of his positive moves in this bout came with his aggressiveness.
Hamri with the takedown now, 9-5. Let's see what he does here.
And that was his aggressiveness going in for the double. Got a 4-point lead on the mat.
.110 left.
Well,
Hamri taking a peek at the clock there.
Yep, and again, Dawson has to continue to stay aggressive and fire out.
We'll see a freestyle start here. Let's see if he lets him go or just tries to catch him. Caution. Same thing. Again.
And that's a point. That's the third caution.
Ten to 5. Caution on Collingswood this time. Again. Oh, I guess
that
not.
should have been another caution.
I thought that was one there.
When he came down on top of him,
there's the escape now.
Should have been a caution.
Hamri going to train to take him down and put him on his back.
Yep.
Under a minute.
4-point lead. Dawson can't get too defensive here.
I'm sure the fans have already done the math. They know what's going on here.
Dawson trying to get aggressive, in on the leg. He's got to pop his head. If he tries to pop his head.
Hey, all he's got to do is keep moving, Vogt.
Well, keep moving, but
I mean, let that clock move.
Yep.
Under 20 seconds.
Oh, my.
We mentioned before this match, Collingswood would have to pin out to win. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, and they're going to need a miracle here in the last 8 seconds. I'll tell you what, Dawson and Savania right now, Vogt, you look at those two kids for Paulsboro.
Absolutely.
And even Zold at 112.
And
Dawson trying for a takedown to the very end. Paulsboro's going to win the match. (10-6), Hamri wins. (30-16).
140 pounds. Shields and McMullen.
Mike Shields of Collingswood, a senior, 8-11 this year. He's out on the mat now against Eric McMullen. Eric McMullen, a freshman with a 9-12 record.
(119).
And again, as you mentioned prior to this bout, a lot of the credit goes to the wrestlers who everyone knew were going to have their hands full, not giving up bonus points.
A lot of tight matches too, Vogt. Like we just mentioned, they're going to be. There's a good chance these two could meet again. Of course, you know, Haddonfield and Collingswood was a tough match, and Paulsboro Haddonfield was a tough match.
Absolutely.
That's what's the key about staying the #1 seed. You don't want to face Haddonfield in the semifinal. 2-0 Shields. This is a senior freshman, but you've seen McMullen now a few times. What do you think of him, his potential?
I think he has unlimited potential. I think he's got a lot of promise, a lot of future. Again, according to how hard he wants to work.
2-1. Shields with the lead.
Wrestling is a pretty fundamental sport. It takes a lot of heart, a lot of courage, and a lot of hard work to be good. We were mentioning earlier that it's been since 1970, the last time that Paulsboro lost their colonial team in this gymnasium. Paulsboro wrestlers in the lineup that night included Tommy Velikas at 98 pounds, Joe Pino at 105, Kenny Ridinger, Steve Bresnai at 115, Kenny Ridinger at 123, Dale Driver 130 pounds, Jack Suter 136 pounds, Jimmy Redmond 141 pounds, Warren Clinton of 148, Calvin Patton at 157, Warren Lopez at 168, Craig Talmont at 178, and Dave Bishop at heavyweight.
Go to the second period, 2-1 lead for Shields. Have a chance to see Brian Haristston in the last match.
And
I mean, you saw where Collingswood was coming from. I think they were banking on Haristston and Hamri picking up big points, and then, you know,
when Hamri gets held to a 3-point decision, it makes it a moot point. They needed 6 from Hamri. And you could well see Paul Marina forfeit to Haristston in the very last match. Last thing you need is an injury in a meet that's over.
Probably see Haristston and Cosgrove wrap things up. You would imagine they're going to wrestle, right?
Well, I would think so. I mean, Cosgrove is in a learning mode, and the experience can do nothing but help. But you also don't want anybody hurt into the last 2 weeks of the season either. Well, this meet is heading for a 7-7 split. So as Hamrick said, Ron Hamrick, the coach, going into the match, it's all about bonus points.
And that's when we go back to heavyweight, Voj.
Absolutely.
Job Savania did.
And a job that Dawson did.
Yep. Now 3-1 Shields. Quick shot by McMullen. Misses on the attempt. You know, you look at the 4 public school groups, Voj, and there's going to be some great finals, some interesting finals, I should say, in South Jersey. I mean, Paulsboro, Collingswood, Haddonfield, 2 of those 3 teams, I would imagine, in the final. As we see Tom McConnell, former head coach at Kingsway, as we talked about being an assistant here at Collingswood. Maybe good chance Delsey and West Deptford in the Group 2 final, and in Group 4, you know, I'm still thinking Eastern and Jackson.
I couldn't do but more than agree with you.
Shields has McMullen down. 5-1. .30 seconds left here in the second.
Another escape makes it 5-2.
A little quiet after that 135-pound match once Paulsboro clinched it. as we have an injury timeout.
16 seconds ago in the second period. Paulsboro with a 30-16 team lead and has clinched the match.
I just want to thank VIP Productions. They are doing a terrific job tonight, Vogue, bringing this match to you and bringing some sporting events back on Comcast towards the end of the winter winter sports season.
That we
I
are.
forget it's winter. Do you feel that? See that? Snow today or what?
Well, it felt like winter this morning. It felt like spring this afternoon when the rain started. But thank God it did warm up and go to rain, or we might not have had this match tonight.
That's Maloney taking one for the team over there.
It's good to see him back on the mat. He was on a hiatus for a couple of years when his son finished up his career at Eastern High School.
What's his son's name?
Mark Maloney.
Nice career at Eastern. There we see once again the Paulsboro bench. We talked about Greenwald not wrestling. Duka in the background. Tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see the kind of run he has, Votes, in the tournament.
Well, I think he's anxiously looking forward to it. You never want to get the season over before it's time, but I think he's got one thing in mind, that's the state title.
Third period, Shields leads 5-2 over McMullen. There's the escape, now 5-3.
Nice little takedown would tie it up.
Take a look at this Paulsboro lineup. Only a couple seniors. Canau, Gentile, Samuels. One thing about wrestling, though, with weight classes and what the kids weigh, you never know year to year though, who's coming back.
Oh, yeah. Before they went out of bounds over there was a stalling warning against McMullen.
Paulsboro right back at it on Friday night. This is a Wednesday night. Friday night, they go up against West Deptford. Now, a little bit of revenge there. Not that they have lost to West Deptford recently. I don't think they've lost to West Deptford since '68, but West Deptford stopped their streak of 10 straight district championships.
Last year in District 29. And West Deptford's gotten stronger, progressively stronger as the season has gone on. And then after West Deptford on Friday night, right back to Absegami on Saturday. And then I think 3 matches next week.
Well, I know the following Saturday, a week from Saturday, they have Phillipsburg.
That's correct. That ends the regular season. And then a week after that, the group championships.
Under a minute left, 5-3. McMullen looking for a takedown to tie this match. Stall warning against Collingswood now. So each kid's been hit.
Here again, you have a freshman against a senior, so it bodes well for the future. As you mentioned, Paulsboro with only a couple seniors in the lineup. So there is a lot of promise for the future. I understand some very promising prospects in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade level. And of course, Paul Marina's sons are up and coming. Oh my.
Got the takedown, he tied it. No, he waved it off,
Never had control before they went out of bounds.
18 seconds left.
Good call.
Good call or good no call?
Well, a good no call. I mean, you know,
I know what you're saying.
he started to go up as it was looking like a takedown, but stayed right with it, and there was not complete control as they spun out of bounds. So it remains 5-3.
Two seconds left. Okay, 5-3 win. We're going to take a break. Paulsboro leads 30-19. "20 seconds into the first period, a final match of the evening, 145 pounds, Cosgrove and Haristston.
Brian Haristston, a junior, 18-4, very accomplished wrestler. Matt Cosgrove for Paulsboro, a sophomore, 9-9 this year, with a bright future in front of him. But Haristston definitely the advantage in this match. I think one of the most impressive things we've witnessed tonight is the fire and the gumption of some of the younger Paulsboro wrestlers and not as experienced wrestlers hanging right in there with the Collingswood veterans.
Remember last year in the dual meet, Cosgrove kicked things off with a big 13-11 win. And I thought a lot of people thought, with that win, Paulsboro would win. But things just didn't fall into place after that for them.
And Haristston himself is one of the better wrestlers on that Collingswood team. A district champion last year, second in Region 7. So his resume speaks volumes.
Matter of fact, I think one of Hariston's losses this year is to Taylor Walsh, who's just a beast from Camden Town. He was pinned. Walsh at 135. Beginning of the year, back up as to December 20th. I think Collingswood, by the way, this weekend has the Morristown Duels, Voj.
And Camden Catholic is in that, I believe.
Yep.
In fact, I think they're in the same half bracket.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Oh, my. Inexperience against experience. Oh, my. Oh, brother.
Nice job by Cosgrove to fight out of that one. 7-1. That was sweet, wasn't it? I mean, not if you're a Paulsboro fan, but just the move there as a fan of wrestling.
Oh, yeah, no question. One of those pancake maneuvers to get the takedown right to the back. Cosgrove can look at the tapes, see where he made his mistake. You can't telegraph a move like that against somebody who is an outstanding wrestler like Haristston.
Seven to 2 right now. 20 seconds into the second. Haristston right on the attack. Gets another takedown. It's now 9-2, and he's very confident on his feet. Lets him go. It's 9-3.
Well, he might be going after the tech fall now, or if he gets a same kind of a move on the takedown, he can take Cosgrove right to his back. So Cosgrove has to stay aggressive, but he's got to be careful in the way he keeps his arms out as he goes in shooting for a takedown. Haristston trying to control the head.
One thing I know about Cosgrove, Voj, is he'll go 6 minutes. He'll wrestle you to the end.
No question. Haristston trying to set up a move, but there's a spin move to try and get a takedown. So he was letting Cosgrove come at him and be the aggressor.
Looks like he lost a contact.
Yep.
Now we have an injury time for Haristston. Talked about how packed it is, Voj. I'm not looking forward to the trip back out to the car. I had to park in Gibbstown. I figured you'd set me up with some private parking.
Well, I got a private parking spot when I came today, simply because I came here at 4 o'clock.
I guess after 6 wasn't going to work tonight.
I mean, if you want to wait until the last second to get here.
Duka, Palmasano, and Marina. There's a lot of wins and a lot of experience in those three guys right there.
No question. No question. And you know, we mentioned the number of wins in Hamri's career prior. Paul Marina with 475 wins going into this match tonight. Quite impressive.
I guess that's an outside shot next year. What? Voj at 500.
Yes. And they rank number 4. Marina's number 4. Hamri is number 8 in South Jersey history. Still no takedown. Now Haristston rushed that. If he spins behind here, he can get a takedown.
See Cosgrove hooking onto that arm. Nice job. Now he's going to try for the takedown. He runs out of room. We'll go back to the center with 16 seconds left, 9-3 lead.
Again, you know, being aggressive, not nearly as experienced, but this is a learning mode for him as well. Got to see what works, what doesn't work.
Go to the third. You look back to Voj. The most entertaining match had to be the Rapa Palumbo match. Palumbo not quitting and almost pinning Rapa after he was almost pinned.
Yes.
That was the loudest the crowd got, and it was loud tonight.
No question. No question. And exciting. Both wrestlers not giving an inch.
Takedown now 11-3. Major territory for Haristston. (11-4). There's Cosgrove going right after him, though.
And that's the thing I think that was impressive with a couple of the younger Paulsboro wrestlers tonight. There was no fear. There was aggressiveness.
Yeah, well, we saw that in Savania, Voj.
Yes. I mean, we saw what we expected from Canau and from Duka, Diema, but Dawson and Cosgrove, Savania, they've done their part tonight.
13-4.
Well, 9-point lead, which is a major decision territory.
So even though Paulsboro's in the Patriot, Collingswood in the Liberty, this one most people thought was for the top team in the Colonial right now. Today it's Paulsboro.
Yes, and bragging rights. And
for at least a couple more weeks.
That's absolutely correct. These two teams, as you mentioned, could most definitely meet again in a Group 1 final, and Haddonfield can't be counted out.
Correct. (13-5), 25 seconds left. Looks like it's going to end up, though, Voj, just 7-7 split.
And as Hamri predicted coming in, bonus points would play a big role.
One of the Collingswood fans holding up a Collingswood basketball jacket, Voj.
Well, and they can brag all they want, but they won a basketball championship in Group 2 last year, and wrestling in Group 1. Go figure. The infinite wisdom of the state sometimes mystifies me.
13-5, final score. Brian Haristston a winner. Final score, Paulsboro 30, Collingswood 22 votes. It was a 7-7 split. But like we talk about many times, it all comes down to bonus points, 30 to 23, I should say.
All comes
Major
down to
decision.
bonus points, and when you look at the match the way it went tonight, with starting at 152 pounds, Samuel's getting a decision. Martell only giving up, and I say only, giving up 4 points to Heinel because Heinel is the much more experienced wrestler. Gentile going into the ultimate tiebreaker to beat a very good Vince Simone. Bussey showing his inexperience against Dentino and losing by a decision. Greenwald getting the forfeit. And then, as you had mentioned earlier, Savania doing a great job against a really good, experienced wrestler.
And like you said, you thought Paulsboro would be productive in the lighter weights, and they were at 3:19.25.
Right, you get a pin at 103 from Canau. You got at 119, you got a big decision. Diema got a decision at 25, and then Duka the big pin at 130 pounds. And pretty much put it out of reach at that point.
Okay, Voj, I'd like to thank you once again. Final score, Paulsboro 30, Collingswood 23 for VIP Productions and Comcast. And John Vogeding, I'm John Mondelli. We'll see you next time.